welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share a video showing you how to decide when to visit Walt Disney World. Most of this video will be online, meaning that I'm going to show a screen recording of me talking through while I click over on my computer screen, because that is where all of the resources are to help you determine when to visit. As I'll say in this video, in the screen grab portion, you will notice that this whole series is revolved around the steps for planning a Disney trip that were created by wdwprepschool.com, and the woman behind the site is named Shannon Albert, so all credit to her. Anyway, let's just jump in to how to decide when to visit Walt Disney World. Let's go ahead and talk about deciding when to plan a Walt Disney World vacation. Of course, the first thing that you want to check is your personal calendar. So you want to decide and figure out when you can visit and when you're available to visit. And after you've done that, the next step is to check the Walt Disney World crowd calendar. So my favorite resource is wdwprepschool.com. It's kind of hard to say, but it's a fabulous site. So as I said in the intro to this video, my planning steps are based around the founder of this site, Shannon. They're based around her planning steps because I think that they are really well laid out. So if you go to her site and you go under planning step and click step 1, pick a date, and then you select the crowd calendar for the year that you are looking to go, you will be able to see the crowd calendar. So you can go directly to the month if you already have the month in mind that you're planning on visiting. But if you have a few different times and you're unsure, you can go ahead and enlarge this crowd calendar and then take a look. So you can see at the top there's the key. Green is the lightest crowds, and then the heaviest crowds are red. And then she has a check mark in the boxes of the different times of year that are her personal favorite times to visit as a Disney expert. So you can kind of scroll through and see. So the months are going down this way. So this is a school year calendar. It begins in August and it ends in July. So you can see when great times would be to go, when okay times would be to go, and when it's going to be very heavy crowds. Now, there's really not a bad time to go to Disney if you have a good plan, but it is something to consider. My husband and I went last January, and we went the 25th through the 31st. So you can see that it was, this coming year, it's bright green. It was the same with last year. And we absolutely had a perfect trip. It was so great. I have a couple of vlogs that I'll pop in here in some cards if you want to go check them out. But I mean, we had the park to ourselves a lot of different evenings where it just felt like there was no one in the parks. So these crowd calendars are very well done. I know Shannon and her team create them not just by generalization or the past, but they actually go and they average together the school year calendar from different school systems, the largest school systems from all over the US. And with that information and data, they're able to create this in a way that really makes sense and is very accurate based on the year. So like I said, this year in 2017, we went in January. Last year, we went in early May. I think we went like maybe the 10th, 11th, or 12th for about a week. And so that was another great time. The Flower and Garden Festival was going on, and the crowds were very light. So I just have this zoomed in. I'll zoom back out. But you can also go ahead on her site, and so if you were thinking about January 2018, you could go and click, and you could see kind of more of a commentary on her crowd calendar. There are many crowd calendars all over the internet for Disney World. There are a lot, and I have looked at a lot of them, and I just really appreciate the level of detail with which this one is created. This is not a sponsored video by any stretch of the imagination. I just really appreciate this website. I just think it's really well done, and it's done by one woman and her assistant and not like a team of a whole bunch of people. And I just find it to be very clean, very clear. And the information has been highly accurate from my past trips based on the site. So anyway, that would be my second step as far as deciding where to stay. Once you've narrowed down the dates that work for you and your family, it's important to go and check out this crowd calendar and see, because if the dates that work for your family are dark red on the Disney crowd calendar, that doesn't necessarily mean that it would be a bad time to go. You may consider another option, or you may just have that in the back of your mind and be very prepared with touring plans and things like that, which we will talk about in a later video. Once you have decided based on your personal calendar and based on this crowd calendar what makes sense, it's also smart to go ahead over to the Walt Disney World website, which the address here is disneyworld.disney.go.com, but you can just go to disney.com and navigate over to this part of the site. But you can go under things to do. And under things to do, you can go to events and tours, and then you can kind of see if there's anything special going on in Disney during some of the times that you are, interested in visiting. So you may want to go into experience type and filter by special events, let's say. So you can see the Flower and Garden Festival. So when you click on the Flower and Garden Festival, it can tell you when. It should be, this is 2018, so they probably haven't come out with the exact dates yet. But you can click around here and you can figure out when different events are happening and that kind of thing, which can be helpful because if you're deciding between going on this date or going on another date and that, they have... They're very similar, in terms of your family schedule, but you want to figure out what's going to be best because you want to attend, let's say, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Then you might want to come here and you can see up here November 9th through December 22nd. So if you were thinking about a trip in either early November or in mid-November, and this is important to you to go to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, then going to this site would be helpful. There are other websites, including Shannon's site, that have more information about the different events, but that's the third thing that I would check. So to recap, you want to check your personal calendar first, you want to check the crowd calendar second, and then the event calendar third. The one thing that I have not mentioned that I like to do once those three steps are completed is I will often just Google, so maybe I'll Google January 2018 Walt Disney World. And when you Google, you can kind of get a little bit more information and you can kind of see some questions and answers. There's just so much information about Disney on the internet, so it helps to have a more specific search. You could also search January 2017 Walt Disney World, which I also like to do, and you can go and see what kind of went down in the last year. A lot of times the calendar doesn't change drastically from year to year. Sometimes it does, but a lot of times it doesn't. So you could do that. You can go to YouTube and search January 2017 Walt Disney World and see other people's experiences and videos based on that, different people's blog posts, that kind of thing. So it's something that, once you have the month or the couple of months that you've narrowed it down to, or the weeks, you can go ahead and search that and then you can see. So if you had gone to YouTube and searched this and my video came up, you would see that we had a fantastic time with very, very low crowds and very mild weather, which might sway you in the direction of booking during that late January timeframe. So that's just something to keep in mind. So those are the three things to keep in mind when deciding when to visit Walt Disney World. In the next video, we're going to talk about deciding where to stay once you've decided your dates. So stay tuned for that. I hope that video was helpful in helping you decide when to visit Walt Disney World. If you have any questions or if there's a time of year that you love to visit, you are welcome to comment below and share that. Be sure to check back for the next video in this series, which will be how to decide where to stay at Walt Disney World. And from there, we'll talk about how to go about booking a Disney vacation, creating a daily plan, and more. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!